did you think of Venom without Kronos when they
wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't Venom. It was ridiculous. I mean, they even went out as the name of Sons of Satan at first, with some fucking lame singer who was trying to be me. He was just fucking stupid anyway, you know. It's just pathetic.
Yeah. Kronos is Venom to me. To me, if Venom doesn't have Kronos, it ain't Venom. I mean, you just have this persona. It's better that it's you with these guys than it was, Mantis and Abaddon with somebody else. It just didn't work.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't work, no, because A, they would be doing it for the money, which we don't. We do this for the integrity. And B, I mean, it's not in their souls to do this. You know, this isn't their idea. I mean, you know, this has always been my idea. I mean, you know, that guy who they got in for the singing, I mean, he now stars in some play called Chitty Chitty Bang Bang in the West End. So, I mean, what the fuck's all that about, yeah? Fucking homosexual fucking ass, you know? So, I mean, that's absolute crap. I mean, he could never be any fucker in Venom when you would actually take a job like that. That just shows you how much of a fucking wimp he is.
Back in the 80s, there was bands like Venom and Celtic Frost and Slayer and Destruction, and the common denominator with all those bands were they were heavy, they were underground, but they all had their own style. They all had their own niche, and they didn't sound like a carbon copy of each other. If we can get bands back into that frame of thinking, this music will stay alive for years to come.
The future of black metal, as it seems, is that it will be overflooded with so many bands that have nothing to do with black metal.
Now that it has come of age, I really am able to relate to that music, and I have huge problems with the first wave of black metal and with the beginning of the second wave. But now the music's really become mature and much more experimental.
It's going to keep evolving. I think it's going to branch out the way it's done.
Bands in the future will continue to draw from the past, some going back to the 80s, to the classic bands, some going back to the early 90s and the Nordic stuff, and the French sound, and so on and so forth.
You're built of ice, of course. It's good with the ice that everything is steady, but still you need movement. And everything is moving, everything is constantly changing, but you also have to be aware of the source, being the ice.
And it's going to continue with the bands who want to sell 500,000 records and have these big plush productions, and bands who record a rehearsal tape in their rehearsal room and push that as people who want both. So
the real bands will stay, and some new bands will rise and have some real things to say.
Don't tell me, you could write songs about, sacrificing children to Satan and kill Christians and rape nuns, but then tell me that I can't, say that the Holocaust was fake and that, too bad it didn't happen, and, substitute Christian with Jew. That seems to be a sore spot, and it shouldn't be in a music form such as black metal.
Seems that black metal has given birth for many different styles and still will, and I don't have nothing against that. I just hope that they use different names for their music styles. I mean that you cannot have Christian black metal or vegetarian black metal or national socialist black metal. It is just black metal, or then it is not black metal at all.
This is like a musical experiment in heaviness, and it's to make it more intense and more heavy and more dynamic and more satanic, and to get bigger and louder and bolder and brasher, and just to keep pushing that.
It has been around for 3 decades almost, so yeah, it will survive.
I don't think something that people are so passionate about as black metal or even heavy metal in itself is ever going to die out. It's like punk, there's always going to be kids out there that are so into it, they're going to keep it alive.
Venom Venom's an evolution.
Yes.
Venom, it always will evolve. I mean, I would really like to have this lineup now for 10 or even 20 years because, this is the heaviest I've heard Venom. This is the most fun I'm having. People say about, the only Venom is Kronos, Mantis, and Abaddon. And, although that we agree with that lineup could never exist.
I mean, some bands stick to their formulas and still do very good, like bands like Dark Throne, for instance.
I never did music or whatever to oppose or to be a rebel, but I tend to naturally go against the grain.
We didn't consider us black metal, but the scene considered us black metal for a long time.
It doesn't matter if you want to put us in the